Life Audio. Welcome to the Crosswalk Devotional. We're glad to have you listening with us. Today's topic is on unleashing the power of God's Word. We'll return with the devotional after a brief message from our sponsors.
The ship's drifting out of control. Get out of there now.
What happened?
His cord snapped. Some called it impossible.
Okay, Dave, I don't know where I am.
Others call it a miracle.
Son, no, he's not.
Focus Features presents the inspirational true story
I got an idea.
that kept the world breathless.
This isn't working.
You can do this, buddy.
Starring Woody Harrelson
Now!
and Simu Liu.
I'm not losing a diver today.
Last Breath, based on the true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Only in theaters this Friday.
There's no place like Israel, rich in history, culture, and spiritual significance. From walking through ancient Jerusalem to floating in the Dead Sea or experiencing Tel Aviv's modern energy, it's a destination like no other. While I haven't visited yet, I've heard how life-changing it is. Now more than ever, we stand with Israel and pray for peace. I look forward to exploring its beauty one day. Learn more at goisrael.com.
Unleashing the Power of God's Word, written and read by Kelly Bellari. Is not my word like a fire, declares the Lord, and like a hammer that breaks a rock in pieces? Jeremiah 23:29. Let's shake on it. We all know that if someone shakes on it, then you have a deal. We would call it a handshake deal. With a handshake deal, the deal is as good as done, and hopefully as good as gold. Why? Because you have someone's word. With God's Word, not only do we have His Word, but it is even more done than a man's word. It's a way better deal than any handshake deal. It is promise from God Himself. It's unbreakable. Plus, there's no promise that God won't keep. He is not a man that He should lie. If God said it, He will absolutely and undoubtedly do it. His word is true, constant, consistent, and eternal. Not only is His word absolute, but it is powerful to save, to purify, to deliver, and to break strongholds. Jeremiah 23:29 says, "Is not my word like fire, declares the Lord, and like a hammer that breaks a rock in pieces?" This verse is incredible. God's word is like a fire that burns away dross, defeat, doubt, discouragement, and disillusionment, as it's also a hammer that breaks strongholds, barriers, blockades, and mental blocks. Fire purifies and hammers break. If you feel that you are an impossible case, if you think it's impossible to change, if you feel that there are blockades too big to get through, turn to God's word. It contains within it immeasurable power to both deliver and save. Not only this, but it discerns the thoughts and the intentions of the heart. God's word reads us from the inside out as much as we read it. Practically speaking, when you read God's word, notice the verses that speak to your specific troubles, needs, or desires for godliness. Journal them down on a notepad. Later transcribe them from notebook to note cards. Then, in idle moments, instead of scrolling your phone, run through your flashcards. Commit these verses to memory, own them in your heart, live them through your life. Say them, pray them, declare them, relate to them, soak them in, believe them. You don't want to know about God in your mind. You want to know God in your heart, so you live out His ways through your actions. With this, make it an aim to commit God's word not only to memory, but to your heart. Remember, it is His handshake promise to you. It will certainly encourage, empower, and reemerge you in ways you never expected, to His glory. Intersecting life and faith. Do you make time to engage with God's word? Do you believe it is His absolute, definitive word? How might you begin to own the power of His word more in your own life? how can you make more time to connect with Him?
The Crosswalk Devotional is a production of Life Audio and Salem Media. If you liked what you heard today, please take a second to rate and review this podcast in your favorite podcast app so that more listeners like you can find the show. For more faith-filled, inspirational podcasts, visit us at lifeaudio.com.
The ship's drifting out of control. Get out of there now.
What happened?
His cord snapped. Some called it impossible.
Okay, Dave, I don't know where I am.
Others call it a miracle.
No, he's not.
Focus Features presents the inspirational true story
I got an idea.
that kept the world breathless.
This isn't working.
You can do this, buddy.
Starring Woody Harrelson
Now!
and Simu Liu.
I'm not losing a diver today.
Last Breath, based on a true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Only in theaters this Friday.